a celebration in Philadelphia. The Phillies, the fighting Phils, begin the quest today. Opening day. You know what this is. This is our time. We love it. Phillies baseball. Bring it on, baby. Let's go.
Yeah!
Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. And now for the main event, broadcasting live from the PHLY studios at 10th and Spring Garden. It's time for the Anthony Gargano Show!
Good morning, everybody! Yes, it is time for opening day. It's Phillies baseball, man. This is the greatest thing. 20 years of Citizens Bank Park begins today. We wake up, and it's sun-splashed, and it's beautiful, and it's completely our time of the year. It's opening day, and I can't wait to talk all about it with you guys today. Good morning. It is the Anthony Gargano Show. Do you remember this moment? So we are Phillies, Padres in the rain, and there it is. Bryce going opposite field against the Padres. And this is what I'm talking about. This is how we celebrate. I'm looking at this video. This is a homemade video that I took behind home plate. I was with my cousin. Oh, man. Good morning, by the way. We're brought to you by Bet Parks. Download the app and make your bets with us. Got to be 21 plus. JP, John Zapata, is with us. Good morning. Good morning. Look at this video.
Oh, I got goosebumps right now.
You chills?
Oh, my God. I'm so excited. Listen, people are about to see in a little bit, but I am wearing black under my Phillies jersey because, I'll be honest with you guys, the way last season ended, that wasn't right. That didn't sit right with me. I still have that sour taste against the Diamondbacks. So I'm ready to get started on this season. Baby, we're going back to the World Series, all right? I'm excited.
Well, you should be. And this is how we do it.
Yeah.
All right? Like, it's 20 years of Citizens Bank Park.
That's right.
We celebrate the 20th anniversary. And one of the things that's so interesting, I think back to my entire life of Phillies baseball. We celebrate all of our teams here. And, you know, we get excited for everything. But there's something about the Phillies and when they're good. Now, part of it's baseball, right? Baseball means renewal. It means spring, right? It's the rebirth of everything. It's symbolic. And, you know, it's part of the charm of the sport, the love of the sport. But what's awesome about this is that when the Phillies are good, it's a gift. And I think back to the eras from when, you know, I was a little boy long before JP was ever a thought. It was the Boa, Schmidt, Carlton Phillies in 1980. And I'm a little boy, and I can't wait for the whole thing because you know the Phillies are going to be good. And then you come all the way back. And in 1993 was more of a surprise the way the season went. And then you come all the way when Citizens Bank Park is built. You go, this place is beautiful. Every seat is magical, and it has that Xanadu feel to it. It's got that beautiful, kind of joyful feel at Citizens Bank Park. And I think back to it, and there were so many great memories, right? It starts off, you got Jim Thome, right? And Charlie and that whole ride that goes from 2006 when they first come on the scene, they just fall short. In 07, you make the playoffs. They lose to the Colorado Rockies. 08, of course, is the World Series year. And, world bleeping champions. And Charlie and Chase and Brian Howard and Brad Lidge. All these moments which come kind of flooding to mind. Like, your mind's eye, and this is the beauty of baseball, especially when the Phillies are good, is that plays a reel. Like, you could see it in your mind's eye, the reel of the 2008, right? 2009, there's another run. You lose to the Giants in the end, but it was a great season. All right, 2009, actually, you lose to the Yankees in the World Series, but it was a great season. 2010 was the stinking Giants and Cody Ross. You know who Cody Ross is, JP?
Oh, don't even mention that name.
Yeah.
I still get nightmares, cuz.
Yeah, I know. Cody Ross is 2010. 2011 was the aces, right? It was the four aces, and it was Halladay and Lee and Oswalt, right? And it was and Cole, of course. You don't want to forget Cole Hamels. And it was that incredible season, right? Like, they were dominant during that season. And, of course, you lose 1-0 to the Cardinals. And, those moments, it was such a great run. And then you had the lean years, and now it's back. And maybe that's why all across the Delaware Valley, I took a ride, as you saw yesterday, at Citizens Bank Park just to feel it. I just wanted to go there. It was kind of little rain, very drizzle. It was cold. It was overcast. But I'm there. I'm like, I want to feel the energy of what the ballpark has. And it had that incredible vibe to it. Like, there's, I woke up today and I know that all across the Delaware Valley, from the kids that are excited, like, oh, it's baseball, right? Like, everybody's pumped up, everybody's fired up. It's Phillies opening day. The expectations are there, and they should be. This is a great, great team. I look at it, and today's a great matchup. It's, Zach Wheeler with the new contract against Steven Strider. I mean, what more can you ask for an opening day? Like, this is the Phillies, the Braves, the two, along with the Dodgers, the best teams in the National League. I mean, that NL West is pretty stacked. But this Philly team, I mean, I got to tell you, JP, I got 100 wins. And I know I'm Mr. Optimism and I'm Mr. Homer and all that stuff. But I defy you. I look at that roster and I go, all right, so you add Whit Merrifield to the lineup.
Yeah.
And their lineup is deep.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you got power. I mean, the only thing that you don't have is probably a left-handed bat off the bench.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, this is a team that back-to-back years, I mean, they went deep in the playoffs. I mean, 2 years ago, we're talking about a World Series team. And now you head into 2024. The expectations are still high. I think a lot of Phillies fans, what they're wondering is, will they get off to that quick start? Because, look, we know, like, we've made the playoffs. We made some deep runs, but we haven't won the division.
Yeah, but JP, like, I know they had a slow start last year, but, like, you had all kinds of mitigating things, right? Like, Ranger Suarez.
It's my boy.
You're right. Yeah, I like that, JP. You had, the Trey Turner thing and the World Baseball Classic, and then he starts into a slump. So there was all kinds of stuff going on. This team right now, I don't feel I would be crushed and upset if they got off to one of those sub 500 starts. I mean, this is a good club.
Yeah.
They're deep. Their rotation, you're going to throw at you Wheeler, Nola, Ranger. I get the fourth starter, and Taiwan is a little bit of a question. We'll see about Sanchez and what happens there. You're going to
Spencer Turnbull too. That we
you have him as a possibility, right? So, like, and that bullpen, you have a handful of closers down there, right? Like, you got Alvarado, you got Sir Anthony, you got Hoffman, right? You're just throwing arms. Soto's down there. That's a deep, deep bullpen. So I look at them, I go, I got really good starting pitching. I have a deep bullpen. And I have a lineup that should rake.
Yeah, here's my thing, though. Like, I'm actually confident in the pitching. I'm actually confident on the defense as well. I think it's much improved. Here's my thing. When the bats aren't swinging for the fences and you're not getting all these home runs in game, how are you going to create some offense? How are we going to get batters in running and scoring positions? Like, those are the type of things that I want to see them continue doing here in this year, because you can't always be swinging for the fences, cuz.
Yeah, well, they're a good hitting team.
They are a good hitting team.
I mean, like, listen, I know that people got up. Listen, we were all upset at what happened with Arizona, but it was less about, you know, the home run, and you're right about, you know, sitting fastballs. It was more about Arizona pitched them backwards, right? Arizona, like, this is obviously it's a fastball hitting team, right? Schwarber to start. Bryce, right. Castellanos, right? They're all fastballs. Stott will get around on a 95-mile-an-hour heater. Like, they sit dead red. That's the kind of team they are. I think they're fine at manufactured runs. I do. I just think they got caught, and Arizona started to pitch them backwards, and it just handcuffed them. And that's baseball, dude. Like, the thing about, like, we could sit here today and I go, hey, they're a World Series contender. And that's all you could say.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, certain teams, like, I'll remember, I was a kid, but you felt it. In '83, the Sixers were the best team in the NBA. They go, they're going to win. They're going to win it. Right? You knew that they were going to win it. There's certain teams in certain sports, you go, well, you know, look, the Eagles are really, really good. They can get there. Niners are going to, like, you could see which teams before the season in football, in basketball. But yeah, exactly. It's a great analogy.
You already know,
right? It's a great analogy. But baseball, because of the nature of the sport,
it's a grind.
But it's not even you know what? You can't go. October is so different than June, July, August. It's a series, right? Like, ask the Braves 2 years in a row, right? Like, they have the best record and they go down.
That was awesome.
Right? Well, yeah, it was. It was. It's amazing. I heard the stat. Strider is 8-0 against the Phillies in the regular season.
Yeah.
And he's 0-3 with a, you know, big, healthy, bloated ERA in the playoffs against the Phillies.
Yeah, and it was not like he was terrible last year, but we just caught him at the right times. And listen, he's a really good regular season pitcher, but we all know in the playoffs, the lights get a little bit brighter, and you gotta show up at that point.
Well, it is interesting. Like, when I think about it, and I look at what happened with Atlanta, it's why you can't, in baseball, you can't give anybody, as good as the Dodgers are, right? The Dodgers are really good.
A lot of hype.
Who knows what happens in October? Who's hot? Who's swinging the bat well? You know, obviously injuries, but that's why baseball is impossible. I always think it's impossible to predict. I just go, they're a contender, and I'm happy. And dude, having the Phillies be good is a gift.
Oh, yeah.
When your baseball team is good, because it takes you over the whole summer.
Yeah, that's the key part.
Right? Like, it takes you get joy out of the whole year. Like, you're going to go through it. You'll go through the spring, and all of a sudden it's Mother's Day, and then Father's Day, and then you're down the shore, and you're watching the games down the shore, right? And the next thing you know, it leads you in to the chill of September, October, and the playoffs. So you have that whole length of time. It's such a long season. And when your team is good, it's a gift.
That's right. You and I are going to talk about it a lot because I know you're a Jersey Shore guy, but there's nothing better than being down the shore, putting the Phillies on the radio, sucking a couple back with the boys. It's awesome, cuz.
Oh, it's, yeah. When the Phillies, oh my God, it's the best. I love it. We're popping off. That's right. We're popping off with Ollipop, man. Ollipop. Find your favorite flavor of Ollipop at your nearest Wawa. Yes.
That's right.
Ollipop. They have some good stuff over there.
Walking a Wawa now, get your Ollipop, guys.
Yeah, popping off with the Phillies, man. We're popping off on opening day. I get happy, dude. I get completely JP. I get this. This makes me happy, right? And I was a little bummed out. I don't know about you, but I was a little bummed out that they didn't play yesterday.
I know.
And it was weird because the rain tapered off and you could have got it in. But you know what? It's even better today. It's Good Friday.
Yeah.
It's a sun splash. It's going to be sunny.
Beautiful.
I know it'll be a little windy down there, but it's sunny and it just feels right.
Yeah, I mean, we're the same. Just give us the sun. We'll be fine with a little sun. We'll deal with a little chill. But I mean, it's opening day, Philadelphia. What else is better today than Friday? Good Friday. Phillies back on the diamond against the Braves. Wheeler versus Strider, and it's going to be a start of a great spring here for us.
So we played that Bryce Harper home run.
Yeah,
that has to be still the number one moment. Like the Phillies, and we had John Brazier on yesterday, are going to be doing the top moments, the top 20 moments, celebrating all year of Citizens Bank Park over the last 20 years because it's 20 years old.
That's right.
That moment still gives me chills, man. And that's why today is how we feel.
That whole series was a lot of fun against the Padres. Reese Hoskins homer too. I mean, like so many good.
The bat spike again. Speaking of Strider, the bat spike was incredible.
Oh, it was freaking awesome. So yeah, we're hoping that this year they give us some more memories because listen, this team is still really good. Like we continue to talk about, we're going to continue talking about over today. But I mean, the hype is real here in Philadelphia for the Phillies, and let's get this started because
I like it. Well, we have a busy show. A lot of fun for you today. Renee Washington of our PHLY Phillies beat will join us. Bill Matz, who is our PHLY Flyers beat, who is awesome as well. And we got some breaking Flyers news. You work with Bill a lot, JP.
Yeah. So
you got a goalie.
Well, here's the thing, cuz. So
a 6'8" goalie.
6'8" goalie, Ivan Fedotov. We didn't think he was ever going to come here to Philadelphia. Like, we all thought like he was stuck over in Russia. But we have to give a lot of credit to Danny Briere. This man has been moving stealthily. Yeah. And Alexei Kolosov as well coming over. Now, that's a different story. He might
they get a break. They lose to Montreal last night, but they get a break because Washington loses. So we'll get into some Flyers talk
excited
as well on this opening day. Jim Salisbury. The great Jim Salisbury, a Philadelphia baseball maven, will join us at 10 o'clock today. So we'll talk to Jimmy. Lots to do. Just fun hanging. I go, oh my God, it's opening day. Truthfully, when we talked about coming back for the show, I wanted to do it opening day because I just wanted to have some fun and tie it to something like this where we could be giddy. All right, we'll get to Renee coming up. But first, let's talk about my friends at Trumark Financial Credit Union. Now, first of all, I love these people. You want to talk about making, finance, banking, friendly, home, easy, right? Reliable, dependable, all that sort of thing. Some of my friends recently joined Trumark Financial Credit Union right here in Philadelphia, and really, it's been eye-opening. What a difference between banking at a bank and becoming a member of a credit union. See, when you join a credit union like Trumark Financial, you become part owner, which means profits come back to you instead of going to bank shareholders. Trumark Financial has better rates, lower fees, a better return on savings, and more flexible options overall. And of course, the same digital tools and technology that we all want. But the best part for me, Trumark Financial is local, all right? They're headquartered in Fort Washington, 24 branches across the Philadelphia area. They're deeply rooted in community. They serve our community, all right? And our community, right, their investments, their program, the people, that's who they serve right here at home. And that's important to me. And that's why I love Trumark Financial Credit Union. Becoming a member of a credit union has so many benefits. More than being a customer at a bank. It's a total no-brainer. Head over to trumark.com/PHLY to learn more, to find a branch near you. That's Trumark, TRUmark.com/PHLY, federally insured by the NCUA. Man, that was, I'll tell you. Also, by the way, later on today, Phillies watch party at Bet Parks. And we're going to be at the Parks Sportsbook and Casino Racebook, I should say, in South Philadelphia, right on Packer Avenue. I love that spot, all right? If you can't get to for opening day, if you can't get to Parks Casino in Bed Salem or South Philadelphia, do yourself a favor, download the Bet Park Sportsbook app. We want to talk about same game parlays a little bit later on. VG and I are going to build one for the Phillies game. Over in strikeouts between Wheeler and Strider.
Oh my God.
You could match that out. But they have it all. So all the baseball, the tournament, just bet UConn, lay it whenever you can. So you could bet live on the Bet Parks app during the game, like with the Phillies bullpen. You could do a ton with that sort of thing. So lots of fun there. Check that out. It's the Bet Park Sportsbook app, the only sportsbook app that I'll recommend. It's so much fun. You got to love it. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, Maryland, Ohio. You want to bet, right? You want to bet? You got to bet Parks. Coming up, let's go get Renee.
Let's go get her.
Hey, welcome back. The Anthony Gargano Show, and we're brought to you by Rite Aid. That's right, presented by Rite Aid. Find all your favorite goods from the store nearest you. And this smiling face and this cool jersey is our Renee Washington from our PHLY Phillies beat. And first of all, Renee, you and Jamie kill it. You and the bro. He's fun, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. We have a blast.
Like, you guys together are great.
And I feel like I bring out a side of him that he doesn't like to show. I'm like singing, dancing, rapping, joking, and then we feed off each other well. It's
real
fun.
Quick, before we get into the fights, because we're all excited, I love the fact we have jerseys, right?
Everyone's got jerseys on today.
Julia's wearing her jersey. Andrew's wearing his jersey. JP's got his jersey on. VG's got his Phillies hoodie. And that's a good old school Fat P.
Classic.
Fat P Phillies hoodie. And I love your jersey. It's fantastic. But, I got to ask you, you're an incredible athlete yourself. So you played college soccer at LaSalle, right?
Yep.
You coach, right? You're an amazing 4-for-4, which includes union, 5-for-5 sportsman. Like, everything.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people don't realize is, like, I grew up in sports. It's not like I just at some point became a fan of sports. I've played this through and through, played professional soccer. I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm a 3-time All-American.
HOF, baby.
And so, I grew up just immersed in sports. And so I love that in my career, I had the ability, I'm talking Phillies, I'm talking union with JP, I'm talking NBA, NFL, WNBA, college sports, even lacrosse and swimming, whatever it is. Sports are sports. It's fun. It's entertainment. It's enjoyable.
So, and that leads me to this. Like, what does baseball, and opening day is special, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's something about, and when the Phillies are good, like part of my whole, thought process today is the idea that the Phillies are good. It's this gift that you have throughout the season.
It is, exactly. It's such a long season. And so if the Phillies can get off to the right track from game one, like the last 3 seasons, they've actually won their home opener. And so hopefully this continues this year. But for the Phillies, when they're doing well, they're one of the teams that the city just, follows so closely, and everything's different. Everybody's in a better mood. Everything's exciting. It's always great when the Phillies are winning.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I showed that video that I actually took because I was behind home plate.
Oh, yeah.
And those moments at Citizens Bank Park, like we celebrate baseball so differently than around the country. I have buddies of mine all around the country, and they'll say, "Hey, like you guys in Philadelphia, it's so different there. Like we every pitch, like today." Now, June, July, whatever. But today, everybody be hanging on one pitch.
Well, first of all, it feels like this offseason we've been waiting for so long, and it flew by. Here we are already, opening day. But it is different. I've been in so many different arenas, stadiums, outside of Philly for a variety of sports, and that's what I always tell people. Philly sports, the passion is just different. We're going to make sure you hear us, good or bad. You're going to hear Phillies fans, and they're going to make sure that, we're rallying around you, we're there, we're cheering you on, and I already know people have been down there already, tailgating, having their breakfast. I mean, the sun barely was up, and people were already ready to go down at Citizens Bank Park. So
that's why this place is awesome.
This is why we love it, cuz.
I know. All right, so let's think about this. How many wins? I mean, can they win 100 games?
I have a lot of faith in this group. I think that the core of this team has about 2 years left together. You look at Bryce, Trey, Ranger, the core of this group, this is their window. And so I feel like this is the season, especially building off of the last 2 years, where they are going to have a full year healthy of Bryce, a full year of post-ovation Trey, a full year of Kyle Schwarber at DH. All these little details that are so important that's going to allow them to be better. And I do feel like this is a 95 win. I don't know if 100, that's tough to do, but I could see them being, between 95 and 100 wins on the regular season.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I just think they're good.
I think so.
Like, I have expected, I think you can get to 100. I really do. And I look at it like, what's their biggest, and again, injuries is injuries.
Of course.
But where's their biggest hole, right? Like their rotation is, the top 3. And I think Ranger's the guy, like we were talking about this before yesterday, that Ranger Suarez is the guy that's going to take a step. I mean, you could see it. Like you could see him kind of, he's healthy. So now you have a top 3. Now I get it. We look at their 4th starter. That could be an issue. Sanchez gives you some depth. Turnbull's there. So that's their rotation. And their bullpen is probably the best in baseball, or at least top 3 in baseball.
Absolutely.
So if you have that kind of pitching, don't you feel like that's why I say you're a 100-win team or close to it? Whatever.
And that's the thing that a lot of people, I think sometimes are too close to it, and we take it for granted because, this is what we see every day. But when you look across this roster, the Phillies have depth, they have talent, and a big key factor that you mentioned is health. Ranger, Bryce, when you look across, there's a number of guys that this is their first healthy spring training, healthy start to the year. And then to have a Spencer Turnbull who can slot in, obviously Taiwan is injured, but even having Mick Abel, who's right now still in Clearwater, still getting those reps in, trying to see if he can get back to AAA. And then he might be able to come up in the summer or something. So there's potential there. And then I know I heard you mention it earlier. I do think the Phillies adjusted and, address some areas that are needed. Bringing in someone like Whit Merrifield adds versatility that as you have those injuries, you have an ultimate utility guy that
he's a contact guy.
And a plug-and-play player wherever you need him.
He's going to hit for you.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You look at where Stott's at. You look at Bowman, right? So you have his scent there. I mean, that's why I go, like, where are the holes in this team?
I know. And honestly, not only have I know Major League Baseball put out, they feel like the bullpen is the top in the league, which I agree with. The starting rotation, top in the league. But then someone like Bryson Stott, Alec Bohm, this is their year. I feel like Bryson Stott in his young time, the last 2 years, his young time with the Phillies, you've seen him each season take a stride. And I feel like this is the year, I've been saying this on the show, he's going to become a household name outside of Philly. We know him here. But outside of Philly, you're going to get more and more people that recognize the talent that he brings. So I feel like getting a full year, knock on when everybody stays healthy. This is a special team, and they have the potential to go the distance. And I don't just say that as a homer and as someone that's on the show.
No, look,
I truly believe that.
I am a homer. I've been one forever. You know what it is? I joke around, but when I do the show, I've always channeled my inner 12-year-old.
As
right?
you should.
Like, I was a journalist forever, and and when you're a journalist, and I was a writer, and I was serious about it, and you would devoid of any sort of rooting interest, you down the line. But with this stuff, it's fun. Like that's the whole part of it. Big story of the day, of course, opening day is the Phillies. It's presented by Trumark Financial Credit Union. Check out trumark.com/PHLY or stop into your local branch to learn more about the credit union difference at Trumark Financial today. So you have to, Renee, you have to just forgive me.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because it's 9:30, right? Oh, my God. And my son is playing in a tournament in Ripken in Aberdeen, Maryland. So Massimo's playing there. And so I had this app.
Are you watching the game right now?
Right.
Yes.
It's a game changer. Right?
Are you watching the game right now and doing the show?
So it's game changer. So we were down 13-1.
Wow.
So we're Mid-Atlantic, and now it's 13-10.
Oh, it's exciting.
But as I was just going on,
Go Massimo.
Massimo struck out.
He's like, this is for you, Dad.
Like, you know, it's funny. Like, all you really care is you want them to do well for them, right?
No.
It's like, it's not.
Not you putting him on blast, by the way. He struck out.
Listen. But I think I care more than he cares. And I don't understand. Like, there's nothing more nerve-wracking than watching your kid, right? And so the Game Changer app is awesome, right? What you do is you see the pitches. So if you're watching ESPN or like online, like you just see the pitch, strike one, strike two, and you can see where the ball is, right? The ball sprays in the outfield. And so I'm watching it, and I see strike one, looking. Strike two, looking.
Oh, my gosh.
Ball. Strike three. Ah! Oh, my God. But that's baseball. And I only bring that up because, but B.
It's fine. Everything's fine. This is fine.
Right.
Everything's
but
fine.
B, it's because the beauty of baseball. Baseball is such a great game. Like, I used to do this every opening day, which was the 100 things we love about baseball. I would make this huge list, and we'd have callers come in and then the whole thing. And what's your favorite part about the sport? Like, what do you love?
So the sound of the ballpark are just so, like, I'm a big sounds person. Like, I really
that,
I feed into that. Whether it's like the ocean waves, but the ballpark, I love that.
What it does is it puts you in a mood,
it
right?
It does.
It puts you in a place.
Even when we went down to spring training for our PHLY Phillies trip and we walked in, I was like, I'm home. This is it. It's time. It brings back. And you smell the hot dogs and the popcorn, and you have, you see you hear the ice cold beer. Get your beer. You hear the bats. You hear the. Oh yeah, I love the sound of like.
Din.
It means it's time.
Yeah,
like it's baseball time.
And it's fun. Like you talk about sound, but the sound of the glove of the mitt.
Yes,
right.
Like all those. Exactly.
Like when you catch the ball and that sound. Mm-hmm. No, it's true. Like. It's funny. I think about all the sports, right? You think of basketball, you hear the squeak of the sneaker.
Oh yeah,
right.
Or even the whistles, the officials' whistles.
But the baseball sounds, the din of the park, that all, they're soothing.
They are, and that's what every sport has. And this is like so weird, but this is what I love. When you go to football, you hear them like the pads. Yeah. You hear them, warming up. Exactly. You hear basketball, as you mentioned, the squeaks. Baseball, it's the mitts, it's the bats, it's them, getting some reps in before the game starts. It's the sound of the spikes on the concrete. Like I love those things. And even like for me, when I walk in the outfield, since last year at this time I was down at the field, walk in the field and just taking it all in. It's a beautiful thing.
It really is. It's like, it's one of those things of, and that's why everybody's in a happy mood today.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like,
and I'm glad it's sunny today. Mm-hmm. I'm actually not going to lie. I woke up today. I don't know about you. And I was like, all right, I'm glad they pushed it back.
Yeah, it's funny. I said the same thing. I'm telling JP, I felt the same way. Because yesterday, listen, we're all creatures of want. Right? Like, you want things right away. And yesterday, I'm like, damn, man, the rain stopped. We're going to play.
Literally was spitting.
But it's way better. No, you're right. It's way better that the fact they're going to play today.
I woke up and I like opened my windows and I'm like, oh, baseball's back. Like it feels exciting because it's sunny. I know I was already seeing, like I said, living in South Philly, I can already see people going down there, and I'm already seeing people with their Phillies gear on. And
I'll give you this, because Citizens Bank's turning 20, so the 20th anniversary of the ballpark. Your favorite moment?
Oh gosh, I mean. So obviously the World Series is a moment, the journey to the World Series. Bedlam at the bank. Yeah. Bedlam at the bank. Just one though?
Well, no, I just wanted your favorite.
Okay, there we go.
So if you go like that.
I like winning moments. I'm a competitor.
So you are.
Anything that involves winning.
I can see that. I definitely can see that.
Probably the biggest one here.
That moment, it was funny about winning because in that moment in 2008, that was the resumption of the rain game. So the rain game, it was, I'll never forget, it was pouring. If you remember, they extended that game. Like that, the Phillies are up 1-0, and they let it play on until Tampa tied the game. Mm-hmm. And so then finally goes to delay. And I'm down in the bowels of Citizens Bank Park, and I was hanging out with Harry Callis.
Wow.
And I'll never forget, I'm looking down and I'm looking at the white shoes. I love Harry. Like, I knew Harry forever. Yeah. And he's just such a beautiful soul, right? And he's having a cigarette. Now, Anthony, I don't know what's going to happen. Right? And I'm like, Harry. And I'm like freaking out because I'm like, dude, are they going to steal the World Series?
Right.
Now, remember, look, the Phillies were up 3-1 in this series.
Yeah, but still.
But now I'm thinking, oh my God, so what happens? You lose the resumption. Mm-hmm. Now it's 3-2. Now you got to go back to Tampa, right? And then what happened? Like anything can happen. And it was messing with my mind.
Yeah. Well, we've been around sports enough to know that there is no safe lead in the playoffs.
At that point, we were it was what? It was the 50-year drought from 25-year drought. 100 seasons.
Right.
So we had gone 100 seasons without a parade.
Exactly. Too long.
Yeah. And the Phillies broke it. That's why it's your favorite moment. Mm-hmm. I gotta go Bryce. I go Bryce.
Oh.
That 2 years ago against the Padres.
That was yes. Oh yeah. That's the thing. It's the winning moments. It's the big postseason moments. Not regular season. It's the big postseason moments. I do too.
Unabashedly.
Yeah.
I can't believe a player of that ilk.
You saw he's having another child.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love everything about the Harpers.
Well, I love. Like, they represent.
Guy.
Yeah, he just represents the town, and a superstar with that personality, like that, really loves being here, is rare. Look, Chase and Ryan Howard and Utley, they were kind of unto themselves a little bit, right? But Harper's outgoing. He's gay. That's why I love the kid,
And he really does a good job of just embodying what the city's all about. And that's why the fans connect so well with him. That's why we all enjoy, being able to watch him, because I feel like he brings that blue collar, that edge, that down to earth personality. He's gonna go out and work hard. He's gonna do the extra little bit, whatever it takes to be good. I mean, him moving to first base, for example, and exceeding in the first season at first base is something I don't know. I remember watching him get reps at first base.
He's a
and we
great
were all
player.
talking about it.
He's a great player.
He's fantastic.
No, he's a great. He's a true superstar.
He's lived up to every bit of all the pressure that's been thrown his way and surpassed it. Yeah, which is fantastic.
Yeah. I just found out he got a hit, so I'm happy.
You know what? He's starting the day off well. What's the score now?
Oh God, I'm afraid to look.
Is this a sign? He's starting the day off the right way for us, maybe.
Well, maybe. Let's see. So the score right now, we're at the top of the fourth.
Oh boy.
And it's
on the top of the fourth?
Yeah, top of the fourth.
Jeez.
And it's 13-10.
Okay. This is not how the Phillies game is going to go.
No.
Phillies
going to be 1-0 because it's real baseball. It's not 11-year-olds. Walk,
13-10, top of the fourth.
Yeah,
this is not how the Phillies game is going to go. He's not setting the standard. He's showing us what's not going to happen, basically.
All right, listen. You're going to be down the stadium. You're going to be down at Bet Parks Race and Sportsbook in South Philadelphia, Packer Avenue. So you and Jamie
Mhm.
will do the pregame show.
Yep.
Then the watch party.
Oh, yeah.
So big watch party
Hang with us.
at the Parks Race and Sportsbook in South Philadelphia. And then the postgame show.
Yep. It'll be a
that's your
fun
day.
day. It's going to be a
Thank
blast.
you.
Thank you so
Good
much.
to
It's been
see
a
you.
pleasure always.
Yeah.
Love what you're doing. Love that your show has hit the ground running, and excited to continue to see where the Gargano show goes.
Come on, you're with me.
I know. But it's been a long time coming. Happy to see things going for you.
Thanks.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how
Well,
you
you
continue.
kill it, so you keep killing it.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back, and Bill Matz from our PHLY Flyers show is going to join us because Flyers got a new goalie.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, man, this morning it happened. 6'8" Russian. Oh, my. We'll talk to Bill coming up next. JP, take it away. Welcome back. Look at my man, Bill Matz. Yo, Bill. You know what the greatest is? You come in Phillied up.
I like everyone in here has the powder blue and the maroon on. I feel like I fit in today.
Yeah, you look good. You got the fat P.
Oh, yeah,
I love the fat P. That's a great shirt.
It is.
Dude, what do you think? I like that a lot.
Yeah, have the 80 World Series
Yeah,
patch on
you
the
got
sleeve.
you got the
It's good
classic
stuff.
hat. You got the baseball locks.
I mean, look at me. I have to wear it. Like, the modern stuff just wouldn't look
Like,
normal.
Dude, you
Yeah.
look like
Oh, when
a
I walk
great-
in,
yeah.
I always get a ticket taker. Like, did you play in '93
yeah,
or something?
yeah.
Yeah,
you did.
basically, yeah.
Dude, I love you. Man.
How are you today, Ann?
Great. Let me just tell Bill and Charlie O'Connor and JP, because JP does a lot of Flyers too, do such an amazing job. You guys are a blast. You cover the Flyers. You do such a great job. I'm real proud of you guys.
Oh, thank you. It's been awesome. You know, Charlie and I have been working together a long, long time. JP came in this year. It's been seamless. It's been so much fun. This season, they've actually given us something. It's not miserable slog to get through as it's been the last couple of years. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, well, it's been a lot of fun. Now
They
we're in
never
the
stop
playoffs.
doing stuff.
So let's talk about the new goalie. So the fact is, you got to. Who thought that he was going to come over from Russia?
This is something with Alexei Kolasov is coming over. He was a draft pick a couple of years ago. Looks like he's going to go right to the AHL. We all kind of saw that coming. He signed a contract in the offseason, and then he was loaned back to Russia. It was like, okay, when his year's over, he'll start his North American career. The Fedotov saga has been going on for 3 seasons, and I wrote this off as a loss. Whenever we open up the mailbag, we'll get a question here or there about it, and it's like, I don't know what goes on in Russia, man. I'm supposed to know what the government's going to do.
I know.
But eventually, it all worked out. I guess Danny Briere and Keith Jones kind of stuck with this thing, and now he's here. They're going to talk at 10:45 today.
So it was shocker that it happened this morning. How good? Like, what do you hear about him? He's 6'8". He's a monster. Like, what do you hear about him?
You know, he's had a ton of international success. He played in the Olympics a few years ago for the athletes of Russia or whatever it was, where they couldn't actually be Russia, but they were, and he did very well there. He's had an excellent KHL career. He won the championship a few years ago. This season, his numbers look good. They called it a down year for him, and it's like, well, yeah, he just spent all last year in military jail, didn't play, and then he comes over and was still okay for them, and now I think he's going to be at least an upgrade over what they have at the backup position. You know, Sam Emerson was thrust into this number one role a couple months ago. At the very least, he needs a breather, and the team needs to feel like, okay, our backup's in tonight. We're not throwing the game, and that's kind of what it's been for the last few weeks.
Yeah, well, after everything, I mean, what were you expecting, right?
Sam Emerson was never supposed to be the number one.
No.
Felix Sandstrom and Cal Peterson were never supposed to play in the NHL this year, and it's all kind of just led to this. And now at least they have some sort of reinforcement coming.
Yeah. No, I can he be special? Like, can he be?
You know, we've seen he
like
is.
I don't. Again, I look at that size. Like, it's freakish. Like a goalie of that size, that big.
It's always interesting when guys come over at this age. He's 27 years old.
Yeah.
He's been a pro for a while. It's not as if this is a prospect. This is a guy who's been playing in the second best league in the world and doing so pretty well for a few years. The adjustment period, we'll see what it's like going from one league to another. But I do think there is some upside here that, listen, you see a guy this size, a lot of guys like that just take longer to develop. Like, you're 6'8", you got to control your limbs on skates.
I remember talking about 6'2" goalies, 6'3" goalies, right? The bigger goalies that was always the MO. That it took some time to develop, let alone a guy that big.
We just saw it a couple of games ago. The Florida Panthers have former Flyers goalie Anthony Stolarz.
Yeah.
And he was all right early in his career. It was like, okay, maybe
he's playing outrageous.
Yeah, now he's going to go get a huge raise this offseason.
Like his season,
and he's 31, just kind of coming into his own. He's 6'6", 6'7". He's one of these guys that just took a little longer. And you look at Fedotov, and you can see a little bit of that where he's already had some success. Come over, get developed by this coaching staff, and we'll see from there.
Man, it's weird. The last Russian goalie, humongous.
What just the absolute most ridiculous player we've ever had play for and it's a team.
It's humongous.
Briz was the best.
Yeah.
I wish that would have worked because he was freaking hilarious.
He was hysterical. I mean, Brizgalov was one of the most entertaining dudes ever. He just, he gave $50 million and he couldn't play.
Yeah, he just stunk. That was a real downside.
And it goes back to and that kind of began. That was kind of the poster child of all the issues that the Flyers had.
That's really when it started. Was the Richards Carter trade?
Yes.
Pronger gets hurt.
Yes.
You put everything into a goalie who's no good, and then it just really stagnated for years there.
Yeah.
And they're just now starting to really dig themselves out of the irrelevance that began then. And that's so exciting.
Tell me about this exciting, because I love watching, because here's the thing. They'll never cheat you out of effort.
No.
They give you great effort every night, right? Now, last night was a clunker against Montreal.
It was tough.
You luck out because Washington loses.
Washington loses. Detroit loses. So you don't lose any ground in the division or in the wild card. You got a little lucky. They can't afford a game like that again. I know they're running hard. It's been like 2 weeks since they've had more than a day off between games. Played 14 games in 28 days this month. That's a ton of hockey for a team that's down 4 defensemen from where they were a month ago.
Yeah.
Everything that's kind of going on. We talked about the goalies.
Listen, this
clear.
year, I mean, we know what it was all about.
Yeah.
The whole thing's about a rebuild. But if you could make a playoff along the way,
expectations
all the better.
Expectations change. The team has built itself to a point where they do belong in the playoffs. Now, a lot of it's because, listen, the Devils just were horrible this year. The Penguins were horrible this year. That was not supposed to happen. So you're in this position unexpectedly, but finish it off now. You got here. You have young guys playing important games. I'm going to win the important games.
Yeah. Is it unfair to expect them? You look at talent-wise. I mean, they're still, listen, they're an overachiever. Yeah. You know what they are. They don't have a ton of offense. Like, you got to work. They have to work.
They do.
Is it like, what are your expectations?
My expectations are they put up a real fight in the first round of the playoffs. I think they get in. Just given the schedule that they have the next 5 games or so compared to what Washington's going up against, they have a much tougher schedule.
Yeah.
I expect the Flyers to get in. Carolina Hurricanes, it looks like that'll be the first round matchup. That's a tough matchup.
Nah, I mean,
I wouldn't be betting on the Flyers. Yes.
You got to go against that crew.
I'm not betting on the Flyers in the first round, but I'm betting against whoever they play in the second round. Like, I think it's going to be a battle. It's going to be competitive.
You know what they do too? They just pepper you too.
Yes.
Like they're a team that peppers you with shots.
It looks like
They're always coming at you.
They've learned to play a couple different styles this year. Like beginning of the year, it was all right. We just need to get 2-on-1s. We need to get breakaways. Then they started working on the forecheck a little bit. They just played an incredible shootout game with the Rangers, who are one of the best shootout teams in the league. Just going back and forth, trading chances with them. I think they can play any team's style, but when they're dictating and playing fast, they're tough to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, I listen, I enjoy them. I'm enjoying the season. I love where they're going. Obviously Jonesy and Danny Briere, they're us. So I feel good where they're at. Like truthfully, I've enjoyed it. I checked out a lot over the past 5 years.
You are not alone.
And it's like I felt like I can get next to them again.
No, this team has personality again. It starts with Tortorella. It starts with Jonesy.
Yeah.
Like people who absolutely get us. John Tortorella, I mean, when they hired him, it was like, really? We never had him before? He just seems like he fits. Yeah. And Jones, I mean, Keith Jones. Yeah. He is us, man. Yeah. Like, it works so well. They've really kind of captured our personality in a way the team hasn't in a decade.
Bill Matz, our PHLY Flyers beat man. He's a throwback, right? He's a back in the day. We go back in the day. It's always presented by Rite Aid. Find all of your favorite goods from the store nearest you, man. All your goodies, everything you need at Rite Aid. Let me ask you a question. Let's go Phillies for a second, because you're a Phillies fan.
Absolutely.
20 years of Citizens Bank Park, your favorite moment.
I was listening to Renee's and
obviously the World Series.
Yeah, the World Series is like everybody's. How can it not be?
Sure.
Some of these Red October games from the last couple years have been insane. I go back to the first year at the bank, going with my dad. We had a ticket plan. Jim Tome's 400th home run, and waiting out the rain delay. Yeah. Like, he just hit his 400th. There's no way they're going to bang this game. And let's get this thing to the fifth, and just trying to get through that rain delay. And then they end up finishing the game, saw his 400th. That was absolutely awesome. Just one of those memories, like something I will not forget, just sitting on the concourse watching the rain with my old man. Like, they're going to get this in. There's no way that they're going to cancel this thing.
It's amazing how we celebrate baseball. It's uncommon. Like, you go around baseball, it's uncommon. Nobody sings, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's standing and going pitch by pitch. We go pitch by pitch, and I gotta tell you, like, it's thoroughly enjoyable.
Oh, it's
like that place. I love that place.
The atmosphere of Citizens Bank Park. It's by far my favorite stadium of any of our places, or any of our venues. And it's in these 20 years, it's really captured so much of this team's success. They've been around since 1883. We know that 11,000 losses now, but they have been a successful franchise for the most part at Citizens Bank Park. And I think we just really attach ourselves to that, especially in the postseason.
Yeah. And man, you mentioned 11,000. I remember the road to 10,000.
Oh, yeah. I still have the 10,000 shirt. Yep. Countdown to 10,000.
I was on the air.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I was listening.
I just saw 1,000 losses. Where'd that time go? But if you look at them now, and they've always gone in this, where they would have these runs. But, Middleton spares no expense. And I brought up earlier about Bryce. When you can build around a player like him, dude, he's the great, he's the best. When we think about stars and Allen, you look at IAI and Lindros and, go through all of them up until now, Bryce is that, that the mega ticket who you could field next to.
He's the perfect face of a franchise. Is he the best player in baseball? Who cares? He's the best ambassador of the game, and he performs at a superstar level.
Right. He's a true superstar.
He's the definition of a superstar. When just the star power, the aura. When he comes up to the plate, you feel as if something's going to happen.
Well, I mean, we talk about the superstars. I love Embiid. I'm an Embiid fan. But I know a lot of people sometimes when you got into mode or something like that, Jalen is very guarded.
Yes.
So he doesn't show you who he is. So when you look at it, Bryce is kind of this open book.
Yeah. That's Jalen has the cool factor, carries himself like a star, but we'll never know him. And it feels like Like you see Bryce at the park, and it's like, oh, that's that guy Bryce. He's he plays right first
you
base for
actually
the Phils.
feel. I heard a story. I thought the story was touching, and it was a guy said, I have to tell you this about my aunt. My aunt ran into, and she was an older lady, and she ran into Bryce Harper at the Home Depot in Jersey. All right. And so she's like, oh my God, it's Bryce Harper. And she's like, and she's looking at him and she kind of doesn't know what to say. And he sees this and he said, and he's like, hi, I'm Bryce. Right. Like, and she's like beside her. It's like, hi, Bryce, freaking out. And she's like, can I take a picture? And she actually had something wrong. Like I think her arm was in a cast or whatever. He helped her. He said, he's like, she's like, can I take a picture? And she was kind of fumbling with the phone. He's like, let me do it. Right. And so she takes the selfie and it like that's to me beautiful.
And it's
right. Like that's a beautiful thing.
It's knowing how important that is to someone else. Because he has a million of these. I'm sure he can't leave the house without this happening.
Right.
And that can't be easy. Now, in terms of, problems in the world, that ain't a huge one. But at a certain point, you're like, man, can I go to Home Depot?
No.
But he actually embraces it and wants to be a part that way. And that's rare.
I only know one other person. Now, he takes to another level that loves just being around people. And it's Charlie Manuel.
He's the
great
absolute
skip.
best.
Well, you have that personality, man.
Oh, well, thank you.
You do. Billy, thanks, man. You're doing a great job. All right.
I appreciate that, Ant. That means a lot coming from you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Bill Matz, you got to check him out. All PHLY Flyers, baby. He does an amazing job. Charlie O'Connor, and of course, JP. JP, take it away, buddy.
Philadelphia, how we doing? Guys, I don't know if you know, but it is opening day. Do you guys feel that electricity here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia? Well, I want to tell you guys about our friends over at the Game Time app. Guys, this is the one place where you can buy tickets not only for sporting events, but all different type of events where it is stress-free, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys didn't know, tomorrow, you guys know my obsession over the Union. Tomorrow, the Union will be facing off against Minnesota United in an afternoon showdown at Subaru Park. So I'm going to be heading down. I'm going to be in Lot C. I'm going to be chilling with the boys. I'm going to have a couple beers. And right before game time, I'm going to try to get those seats right behind Jimmy Boy because I want to get the best seats in the house. So that's where the Game Time app comes into play. It's a free app. You can see your seats right before buying. And even better, they have the lowest prices guarantee. That is the beautiful part about the Game Time app. But guys, what is Game Time app doing right now for baseball with opening day? Guys, they have an offer right now that you guys cannot refuse. Right now, if you head on over to the Game Time app, make sure you download it first. Use the promo code FIRSTPITCH. That's FIRSTPITCH, all one word. You'll get $20 off your opening day tickets for baseball. This is going to go through March 25th through April 14th. So you guys still have some time to get those seats. Guys, if you want to do it today, listen, we got Wheeler versus Strider. Why not take advantage of this bad boy here today? So guys, use that promo code, download the Game Time app, last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. And while we're at it, guys, of course, we're talking about game events. Let's talk about some of the things that's going on here as a family here at PHLY. Because guys, we got a lot of fun things that are coming up here for everyone. Obviously, guys, you still have time today. Obviously, we just talked about it. The PHLY Phillies team are going to do their pregame, the watch party, and the postgame show all down at South Philly's Bet Parks Race and Sportsbook. So right now, they have Miller Lite specials, 16-ounce can specials. That's from 11:30 a.m. till close. So guys, make sure you guys come and hang out with us. And of course, we have a special offer right now. We're giving away tickets here, ladies and gentlemen. So you still have some time.
Tickets.
We're giving away tickets, guys.
Tickets.
So tomorrow's game, like we mentioned, Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey throwing that first pitch at CBP. We're going to be giving away tickets in Section 210. And then on June 3rd, we just talked about the Rhys Hoskins bat spike. Well, Rhys is coming into town on June 3rd. As he's now a member of the Milwaukee Brewers. We're also giving away tickets for that. If you guys are interested in any of those, head on over to allphly.com/events. We have everything listed in there, and it'll also show you how you guys can get in on that action. So make sure you guys take advantage of that good stuff there. And then, of course, tonight, after all the fun stuff with the Phils, the PHLY Sixers team has you covered with a Sixers watch party. They're going to be at Deke's Barbecue here on West Berkeley Street. And here's the beautiful part about it. They're going to have $3 20-ounce draft beers. We got good barbecue, and we got basketball here as well. And, of course, there's going to be a raffle here tonight. You can win 2 tickets to Section 116, Row 13 for the April 9th game against the Detroit Pistons. So that's what we do here, guys. We always got you covered. So make sure you guys head on over to allphly.com/events for all this information. But, guys, have fun with the family, right, cuz?
That's it. That's it. Thanks, JP. We appreciate it. Welcome, Anthony Gargano Show, and we're presented by Trumark Financial Credit Union. Check out trumark.com/PHLY, where you can stop into your local branch to learn more about the credit union difference at Trumark Financial today. It's opening day, and joining me, I love this guy. We go way back. When we talk about baseball and covering baseball, one of the great baseball men in the country, Jim Salisbury. Hello, Jimmy.
Hello, Anthony. How you doing? Congratulations on your new show. I saw the maiden voyage yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. It was great.
You look great, buddy. It's
Hey,
so
man.
good to see you, man. We go back a long way, man.
Absolutely. When you were covering the Cubs in suburban Chicago, and then you moved to the Post, and we were at the Post together. Anthony covered the Mets, and I covered the Yankees in the 90s. Well, I was only there 1 year. You were there many years, but I was there in 96, and it was a great year to work in New York with Jeter's
World
rookie
Series,
year,
yeah.
Doc's no-hitter, and, of course, them winning the World Series for the first time in 18 years. Joe Torre became almost an overnight legend, you know? And so it was a great – I'm forever thankful to Greg Gallo and Dick Clayman and Pat Hannigan and Tom Keegan, Joel Sherman, all those guys, Serby and you for all looking after me and giving me a shot there.
It was great. We had I talk about him a lot. We had this editor who was a big baseball fan, and he was like Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man, right? Like he had that tabloid mentality, and like he used to go buy him a sandwich, like go get Derek Jeter. It's like go get Derek Jeter, he can buy his own sandwich, right? Like like that's not going to entice him. He was a funny guy, great guy. He pushed you, but we became better journalists.
He definitely pushed you, and you know that go buy a sandwich line is kind of a classic. And if you're in the know, it means get close to the guy, get close to the subject you're trying to write to.
Talk to the mother.
Yes, and get on the inside. And I think I have the ultimate talk to the mother story in relation to New York. So as I mentioned, 96 was Jeter's rookie year, and he was different then. The walls hadn't gone up yet. He wasn't as protective. He was more open. Eventually he had to put the walls up to have some type of a personal and private life. But anyway, I was talking to him late in that season, doing a background piece, and his dad came up. I think his dad played college ball, and he said, "I'd love to talk to your dad." And he goes, "Yeah, take down his phone number." So I took down his phone number, and then things got busy. It was like September. They were in a pennant race, and I didn't get to the story right away. And then it was they won the World Series, the hottest story in town. And all of a sudden now it's November, and he's going to win the Rookie of the Year on like a Tuesday. They're going to announce it. Everybody knows it's going to be the Rookie of the Year. So, the editors say, hey, how are we going to preview the Jeter Rookie of the Year announcement Sunday? We need a story. And I'm like, yeah. So I got his dad's number. I'm going to try to call his dad. He gave me his number. So boom, pick up the phone, call up his dad, have a great chat with his dad about, young Derek growing up and whatnot. And Mr. Jeter says to me, hey, my wife wants to talk to you. I'm like, great. So she jumps on the phone and she's telling me all these great stories about.
Meanwhile, you're like, this is gold.
I'm like, talk about get the mother. I mean, she wanted, who wants to talk to a writer?
Right.
She jumps on the phone and she's talking about how surreal the year was, 96. And she says, when Derek was in middle school, every night before bed, he'd come into our bedroom and imitate Dwight Gooden's pitching delivery in our full-length mirror. And we'd say, Derek, go to bed. Get out of here. You got to get up in the morning. So she says, one year he's imitating Doc Gooden's delivery in our mirror, and now he's playing behind him in a no-hitter. How surreal it was. But we've all done it. We've all done it. Imitated,
Mike Schmidt, man, the wiggle. He had the wiggle.
In the full-length mirror. And
yes.
I just thought that story was gold. Such a little peek at what he was like in middle school, a kid full of dreams, and they all came true. So that's always been the best part of sports writing is storytelling. It's always been my favorite thing. I know it's your favorite thing. And so, just opening day, I guess, conjures a lot of those memories.
It does. Jimmy, I'll share with you a Charlie one. And you and I are both very close to Skip, and I love that man. He's just everything that, of course, now I think he's met everyone in the Delaware Valley, but everything you see is him. And I wanted to do a story spending the day with him, and just to go. So I fly to Florida and go to Winter Haven where he lived, and we just hung out. And we watched baseball, and we went to eat barbecue, and we went to a kids' game.
Where did you go? Did you go to People's Barbecue in Auburn?
People's, yes.
I did the same story with him. I spent a couple days with him, watched him fish for crappies, whatever those are. They sound crappy.
Yeah.
We played some golf, and we ate some barbecue, and then went to Dairy Queen for a blizzard.
Yeah. Jim, man, it was great.
He's the best. The way he relates to people.
Oh, he's unbelievable, man. He's got that way. And you covered him, of course, when he was managing and the whole thing. And, it was interesting how he was first taken in Philadelphia. I remember David Segui, who was a buddy of mine, had played for Charlie in Cleveland. And so when he's like, dude, you got Charlie, man. Everybody wanted Jim Leland. And when they hired Charlie, Segui calls me up. He's like, dude, you got Charlie. He's my man. You're going to love him. So I'm like, oh, cool. Let him know, right? So then, he's like, oh, you're friends with Segui. And we became fast buddies. I had met him when I was covering the Indians, like back then during the playoffs. Because I would always do, when you did the Yankees, I would always do the teams that they were playing. And so I knew Charlie. Charlie was that lifer and all. I'm like, oh, yeah, we got reacquainted. And it took a while for Philadelphia to warm up to him. And then, of course, they fall in love with him.
Yeah. I when his mom died during the 2008 World Series, I got up at 2:00 in the morning and I drove to the funeral down in, as they say, Buena Vista, Virginia. I went down, you go around DC and jump on 81, go south. And so I drove down there to that funeral, and it was really moving, to be there and to see, to see Charlie's World Series dreams come through, juxtaposed with such a personal situation. And I wasn't eavesdropping or anything. I wasn't unwelcome. They knew I was coming, and it was special to be there. because he's a really special guy. It was special to see the town he grew up in, and just how respected he is, and how beloved he is in that little town that he grew up in. Sort of local boy done good, but who never forgot his hometown. And he's just, when he was introduced at that press conference, I mean, and Ed Wade took a lot of heat for hiring him, but Ed Wade took a lot of heat for a lot of things. And then in retrospect, Ed Wade did
put together that team. Yeah.
In retrospect, Ed Wade did a lot of things right. Hat tip, and Charlie was one of them. But if you remember Charlie at the press conference, he said, "I'm a people's person," and people snickered. Well, he is a people's person. Sorry, that is what he is, and the way he described it was just so perfect. I mean, it's a guy, when he was managing the Phils, and even right after he was managing the Phils, he loves Wegmans. This is like he loves Wegmans, and it would take him 6 hours to go through Wegmans because everybody would stop him, and everybody wanted a picture, and he'd talk to everybody. It was really funny. I remember we were sitting in Fenway Park once. So this is probably like 2012 or 13. After the run, things were kind of going that way.
On the slide.
So we were out there for batting practice, early batting practice or something, and sitting in the dugout in Fenway Park. And, it's Fenway Park. They have tours. So there's a tour winding through the old ballpark, the 100-year-old ballpark, and, fans. And so now it comes down behind the screen and it weaves over by the on-deck circle, third base on-deck circle. And we're all sitting in the dugout, Charlie and the writers, and we're just kind of doing our pregame thing. So now they bring the tour down through the gate to the on-deck circle, and they're going to show them a visiting dugout. And all of a sudden, people start going crazy. There's Charlie. There's a lot of Phillies fans, day trippers, but a lot of Red Sox, a lot of just baseball fans. And all of a sudden, everybody wants to shake Charlie's hand. Everybody wants a picture with Charlie. He has to get up from where he's talking to the scribes and go. Now he's posing for pictures. He's kissing babies during a Red Sox tour in Fenway Park. He completely hijacked it. He completely hijacked it in their ballpark. And it spoke to his personality. And he posed for every picture, and he was gracious to every person, even the Sox fans. And that's one of the many, many indelible memories that I have watching him, and we're gonna have a lot more because he's doing great, and he'll be
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I bring him up too because it's 20 years of Citizens Bank Park. We kick it off today, the 20th anniversary, and obviously that team and gave us so many memories. And this one is interesting. This iteration of the Phillies is a very likable one too. I got to tell you, just from the likability standpoint, they're really good, but they're also a lovable bunch. I really like this team.
I think,
and I've been talking about Bryce all morning because Bryce sets the tone for it all.
Yeah, absolutely. The way he embraced the city and the fan base, and I think when he got that big contract, he saw it as a responsibility to be out there a little bit, but he don't act like it's a responsibility. It's very genuine. But yeah, you're right. It's a likable team. And I think the number one thing people like is they win. They didn't win. Yeah. They didn't go to the playoffs for a decade.
Yes.
And then they won. And Rob Thompson's a really likable guy. And again, I'm not going to get first and foremost, W's. And they won ball games. But Thompson, a very likable guy. Schwarber, very likable guy. Much like Thompson, down to earth, very real. Harper, very likable, connects with people, knows how important it is to connect with people. I actually think he sees it as a bit of a responsibility to promote the team and the game. And there's just so many likable guys on that team. I mean, Aaron Nola is one of the nicest, best guys you'll ever meet in your life. I mean, salt of the earth, doesn't make excuses, gets beat around, takes his medicine, has great games, same guy. Really, a lot of good people in that room. Jose Alvarado with that big smile, as we've gotten to know him. I got to know him in 2012 2022, and I've seen him kind of come out of his shell a little bit more. There's a really cool personality in there. Ranger Suarez.
I was going to bring him up.
What a personality. I mean, this is a kid. He's got a great story. Signed for $25,000 out of Venezuela. I mean, he was really shelved during the COVID year. I mean, I don't think he was really sick, but he tested positive. He had to quarantine in a Clearwater hotel for a month, and he had to use DoorDash and get his meals dropped to him, and then he's away from his family, and they gather in his home in Venezuela every time he pitches, and it's a big fiesta every time he pitches. So, yeah, Alec Bohm, and what a great story, the way he went from kind of, at first he looked like one of those baby deer or baby giraffes finding its legs.
Yes. Yeah.
And now he's upright, and now he's a man, and now he's hitting big home runs in the NLCS, and he's doing something so human. He's improving all the time as a player, getting more comfortable in the spotlight. Had that little bit of adversity a few years ago. It took it like a man, bounced back. Really have a lot of respect for it.
I mean, I hate this bleeping place, right?
Like, that's what I'm referring to.
He owned it, and that I think you respected that. The fans respected that, and I think it was a great learning experience for him.
Yeah, I just like the kid. I like that he's improved so much defensively. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that he came out of Wichita State as a selective line drive type hitter, inside out swing. Didn't have one of these swing, and I like that he hasn't changed. He's been himself, and I just think there's going to be continued improvement there. And that's Stott, same way. Tough, gritty, smart. So many really good guys on that team, but most importantly, the thing we connect with most is they're good, talented players. There's been a lot of good guys on crappy teams. This is a good team that should win, that is loaded with good guys.
What do you see? Can you see? Look, I look at their rotation. Their top part of the rotation, is intact. We'll see about Walker and Sanchez and what happens at the back end. Their bullpen is among the best in baseball. And you add Whit Merrifield to a terrific lineup, and Merrifield is the perfect addition. I've always loved him because you could play him anywhere. He's a line drive hitter. He'll get the run home from third, less than one out. He's so dependable. And so I look at this team and I go, all right, this is a team that could win almost, that could challenge a 100-win season.
If they get hot, I mean, obviously it's all predicated on good health and performance.
Yeah.
It sounds overly simplistic, but you got to play good. Used to talk about all the time with Charlie. You got to play good. And I don't even know if there's a definition to that. You just got to play good. And we all know what it means. You got to play good defense. You can't give extra bases, extra runs. And you got to do it over 6 months. It's a tough grind. But, I mean, you look at the lineup, there's talent up and down it. You look at the season Castellanos had last year. He had like 3 great off-the-chart months. I mean, if he gets back to being – if he's that guy again, he's the doubles machine he was in Cincinnati. I mean, Zach Wheeler. I mean, I talked about Bohm continuing to get better. Zach Wheeler, boom. I mean, he's continued to get better in his 30s. In his almost approaching his mid-30s. This guy continually gets better. He found good health. He's really connected with the pitching coach, Caleb Cotham. He believes in a lot of things. He has to. All the things they've done have worked. Really looking forward to seeing how that splitter works for him. It was such a difference maker for so many power pitchers of maybe the last era. Look at what it did for Schilling. Look what it did for Clemens. And, wow, you look what it might do mixing in a few of those for Zach Wheeler, who already had a great repertoire. So,
no, but when you add that pitch, like you're right on it. I just want to go a little further on that because when you add that pitch to that arsenal, to that fastball that already tails, it just makes it so tough for a hitter to sit on anything, man.
Yeah, and he's he throws that sweeper. He also throws I remember a cutter. and then a slider, and now a sweeper, and he's got the riding fastball, he's got the sinking fastball. He adds that boom, that split if it's with the same arm speed coming out of that same slot. I mean, you're going to have guys way over it all the time. But he's a great one. I mean, you look at his postseasons. It's like when you have a team like this, and I saw it and I lived it 08, 09, 10, 11. One of the great things about baseball and covering baseball, it's every day. It's an everyday story. It's an everyday serial. It's like, an everyday drama. You tune in at 7:00 and see what happens. But there's a part of you inside when the team is so talented and the projections are so good. And there's a part of you can't wait to, you want to hit the fast forward button, go right to October and see what's going to happen. Zach Wheeler is such a good October pitcher. So yeah, the time is now. The time is now. They need to win one in the next couple of years here because, I think they've done a good job getting some young guys here, like Bowman, Stott, Suarez. We'll see what Rojas is, but their big core, JT and those guys, they're north of 30 now. Time to win, and they got the talent to do it. Like I said, health and performance will dictate.
It's funny you say about fast forward to October. The problem with that is that October is so impossible to even predict. I mean, look, we got an elite matchup today, right? It's Wheeler and Strider, and it's like, wow, it's Atlanta. And just go ask the Braves, right? Who have been tortured by October. The sport is impossible to sit back and go, well, this team can win. Who knows? Like when you get to that point in the season and the playoffs, hot team, the bats just suddenly go silent. Like the Phillies in 11, you mentioned 11. Like that team was the best team in baseball. It wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. Franchise record wins. They were grinding up people all year long. And basically, in the postseason, you got to get there and then you got to get hot. And there's really no better example than the St. Louis Cardinals who beat the Phillies in 11.
Yeah.
They got hot. They got hot. I can actually remember the date because I've studied this stuff and I wrote a ton about it. They on August 25th, I don't even think they were in the playoff picture. They just got hot. And, they finished with an incredible record from August 25th on, and they were grinding up people, and they eke in to the playoffs, and they got hot, and the Phillies had a bad week, and the bats went cold in that series, and the best team in baseball was eliminated in one bad week, and I still can feel and see and hear how quiet and morose and despondent that clubhouse was after that loss. Ryan Howard was on crutches. You're like, what? And they lost. And they weren't supposed to lose. And they weren't supposed to lose then. So there's a randomness to the playoffs. There's a randomness to the game.
Yeah, I still contend if the wind,
how hot you get.
Right? I still contend that game 5, Carpenter was great after he got lit up in game 1. Do you remember the Worth fly ball? It should have been, if it's normal early October where it's warm, the ball probably goes out and it's a 3-run home run.
There was a ball middle of the game by Utley. If he had his old legs, that went right to the wall in center. And then Ibanez hit one late, and one puff of wind that takes that ball out.
Yeah, there was one, I think it was the third. There was 2 on. And I think I want to say it was Worth, and he hits one to. It was anyway. They went and it goes right. And they catch it right at the wall.
I still remember looking over at Halladay, who pitched his heart out, and kind of had his head buried in his hands, his head buried in his hands in front of his locker, and it's just a surreal night that it was over because you really expected it to go on. But like I said, there's so much randomness in the postseason. You look at the Cardinals that year. Look at the Cardinals of 06. Look at the Marlins 2 World Series teams. Look at the Diamondbacks last year. I mean, against all odds, they came into the toughest ballpark to play in baseball, And they shut down that offense. An offense that had, 5 20-home run guys, fourth in the league in runs. They shut them down.
I still can't believe that they lost that. Like, when you go back to that series, they were in control of it, and then it was just like inexplicable, right? It was baseball. They start pitching you
couldn't believe it
backwards.
because early in that, and they were chasing, and I think they started pressing because I wonder, as much as it's a great home field advantage, and I think they appreciate it so much, and they want to deliver for the home folks so much. I wonder if it created some if they started pressing for that reasons, because you want to come through so bad. I mean, it's a game where you can't overtry. It's a game of reaction, letting it be natural. But maybe they'll be better for it. Maybe, honestly, maybe they learned something, from it. Maybe it makes them even more hungry, though I never sensed hunger and desire was a problem. Never sensed that. I just think they're really, I know it's a cliche, but you sense they feel like they have some unfinished business, and Harper's hunger to win a championship. I look at him as a guy that's like, he's very aware of his legend and his place in the game. He was pretty much the greatest most decorated teenage player ever. First, 1-1 overall in the draft. These huge contracts. This sort of the next one, I think the chosen one or something. And I think he's aware of his place in the game, his legend in the game. I think he's aware of the Bryce brand. And I think he knows how important a championship is to that, and just is to his competitive soul. And he wants that badly. And I don't think, and that doesn't mean that Trey Turner doesn't want another one, and Nola and Wheeler don't want one, and Castellanos and all of these guys want one. So, but I sense like a 5-alarm fire inside of Harper.
How good are we look at the Phillies? We know how good they are. Atlanta, obviously, and then the Dodgers. I mean, the NL West is nasty.
Yes, it is. I mean, Diamondbacks played in the World Series last year. And they might be the third best team in that division.
Scored a bunch of runs last night.
Yeah. And they added Montgomery, and they got a couple good pitchers, and they got they got that unbelievable kid, Corbin Carroll. I love watching that kid play.
Yeah, he's terrific.
Dodgers are stacked. Padres still have a pretty good rotation. They got some, studs in that lineup, even though they lost one of them. So, yeah, it's going to be there'll be a lot of good late night games when you get home, put on the late night games. And the Phillies, the Braves, the Dodgers, probably the three class of the league. And the Braves are great. Acuna, 2 corner infielders. I love both those guys. Sale's a good pickup. They added lefties in that bullpen.
Yeah.
They got lefties in the bullpen, which is tough. It could be tough on the Phillies, but the fun of it all is throwing it all out there and watching it play out. And I guarantee you, there'll be some angle or story or some person that rises up and makes an unexpected contribution from some team, and could end up, being a huge difference maker. Maybe it's Christopher Sanchez. Maybe it's Ranger Suarez, though I wouldn't really call Ranger an under the radar guy. I think he's really good.
Yeah, I actually think he blossoms this year. I think he has.
Yeah, I think he's ready to put together 6 really good months. Maybe Zach Wheeler gets that Cy Young that he should have won a few years ago. I know he wants one, and he's certainly good enough to get one. And maybe John Middleton gets his trophy back. I mean, you talk about hunger. That guy wants it, and he's backed it up. I mean, him and his partners have put their money where their mouth is. They're going to have a $262 million payroll. That is huge. And the other thing is, if there's holes, they're going to fix them at midseason. I think they want to see where they are and see how this thing works. And, they'll go out and do stuff. So, it's really special. Baseball's really special because it's every day. It's sort of always on in the background, where, football, every Sunday, it kind of takes over the day. Baseball's it's a different type of thing. It's always on in the background throughout the summer. And, it's really special when the team is good and the stuff on the background is happy and making people happy, bringing people together. So, like I said, I'm really eager to see how it plays out, but I almost can't wait to. I want to push the fast forward button and see how this thing plays out in October, because that's where the shiny trophy is.
Hey, last thing, and then I appreciate your time as always, the great Jim Salisbury. You've been covering baseball a long time in this town. We always talk about, Philadelphia is a football town. The way these fans celebrate baseball, celebrate a good team, it's special. Like you've covered games all around the country. It's different here. And the whole world of Major League Baseball over the last 2 postseasons fell in love with it. I've talked to A-Rod about it. He's like, wow, man, what do you guys do there? It's amazing. It's so cool. And I think it just, we celebrate it differently.
Who doesn't love it? The excitement in October here is it's like no other city. And I mean, don't ask me, ask Trey Turner, who wanted to sign here and turned down more money from the Padres because he wanted to be part of it. And I mean, Taijuan Walker said he saw it and wanted to be part of it. Other guys have. So, football town, baseball town, Anthony, it's a winner's town. And when you win, they're going to love you. I offer to you Smarty Jones. I offer to you Barbaro. I mean, people fell in love with,
the story,
those racehorses, those stories, because they were winners.
Yeah.
If the Sixers win, they're going to blow the roof off the city. I mean, the hockey team is such an unbelievable great story right now, and so much fun. Yeah. I wouldn't want to play them in the first round. They're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out in that first round. I don't know that they'll get by it. They might get by that first round and drive somebody nuts, and then maybe hit a wall in the second round. But it's a great story. So, Philadelphia loves a winner, and they got a great football franchise that is right there every year. Great. I'm just kind of a fan. I'm not like inside with the football, but it strikes me that they're a hell of an organization.
Yeah.
I mean, from the top down, the owner. And it just seems like the Flyers are really moving in the right direction.
Yeah, they are.
And the Phillies are on a great course as well. So people in this town, I really think they love winners and parades and championships. And hopefully they're going to get some more soon.
Jimmy, you're the best, buddy. I hope to see a lot more of you. Love you, man.
Hey, right back at you, my brother. And we're checking you out. Good luck with everything.
Thanks,
congratulations.
Brother.
Okay, buddy.
The great Jim Salisbury. My man. He's the JP, one of the legends. Jimmy, been covering baseball a long time in his town. And opening day, it's perfect. That'd be perfect to talk to Jimmy. Just talk ball, because that's what it is today. Opening day. Happy opening day, everybody. JP, take it away.
Absolutely. Guys, real quick. First off, Jim Salisbury, what a great interview. A legend in Philadelphia. But I want to tell you guys real quick about one of our dear sponsors here in Bagels and Co, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, so tomorrow's Saturday. And first off, hi, Nat. I love you, babe. My fiance knows that every Saturday morning, I like to head over to the bagel shop because, pork roll, egg, and cheese is always calling my name. But now with Bagels and Co, guys, Bagels and Co hooks it up here with all the amount of meat and cheese and eggs that they put in there. And of course, guys, they have huge bagels here. They are Brooklyn-style bagels, but they are made right here in Philadelphia with that Philly love as well. And of course, guys, as we all know, with this inflationary days that we're living in, everything's increasing in prices. Bagels & Co hooks it up, not only with the size of these bagels, but they are affordable pricing as well. And they have a large variety of different selections of bagels to choose from, 15 to 20 different types. And of course, they always have different holiday specials as well. Definitely keep an eye out. They'll have I'm sure they're going to have some Philly stuff as well. They always keep us in contact with Philly sports as well. They also have a large cream cheese variety and different schmears, 30 different types to choose from daily, ladies and gentlemen. And like I mentioned, it is affordable. Not only the bagels, but the coffee as well. Of course, You don't have to pay $7 for coffee anymore. You don't have to pay $15 for a breakfast sandwich anymore. Bagels and Co. always hooks it up, ladies and gentlemen. So what are you waiting for now? Go find your local Bagels and Co. Head on over to the website right now, www.thebagelsandco.com/store locator to find your local Bagels and Co. Again, that is www.thebagelsandco.com/store locator. Thank you to Bagels and Co. And guys, I'll see you Bagels and Co. tomorrow morning.
All right, JP, thanks, buddy. Also, we're brought to you by Ollipop. Now, Ollipop is the world's first functional soda. All right, classic soda taste, but it also has the benefits of plant-based fiber, prebiotics, and other botanical ingredients to support gut health. But forget that, all right? That doesn't mean anything because we drink what we like, right? Like we drink taste. And listen, as a dad of a kid of two boys, 11 and 14, that like soda, I go, I'm hoping, I'll never forget, I bring it home, I go, dude, it's strawberry vanilla to Massimo. You're going to love it. The classic cola. And I'm praying he likes it. And he's like, Daddy, that's delicious. Like, he loved it. I had the ice, the whole thing. He was like, this is really good. Anthony had the root beer float. He likes the root beer floats. He's an ice cream head. So I wind up making a root beer float with an Ollipop, right? And you can get them at Wawa. And I make the root beer float. And dude, if I told you, like, he could tell you the difference between any brand. Well, like, he knows his frozen pizza, the corn chips, like, if it's not Doritos, like, he knows it all, right? He goes, Daddy, is the root beer different? And I'm thinking, oh, no. And he goes, it's really good. Winner! Thank you, Ollipop. Go to Wawa, man. The most recent launch in all Wawa stores is happening now. Ollipop, new kind of soda. Only 2 to 5 grams of sugar and 9 grams of fiber per can. All right. I like them with some gin. Ollipop's debut at Wawa could be more of a match made in heaven. Delicious, healthy drink meets a convenience store that we both love. All right. Both have a cult following. In Wawa now, classic root beer and strawberry vanilla. Ollipop. You got to check it out. You're going to love it. We'll come back. I got Violations Greg, VG. We're going to go do the grind. We got to give you a Bet Parks parlay today with the Phillies. So we're going to do some baseball betting, and then we'll kind of talk to you guys. I do want to let you know that, remember, it's the second day of the show. Soon, I think maybe even next week, we'll start to incorporate some phone calls so we can talk. Because I'll be honest with you, JP, like, I miss talking to people today.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait till we get the phone call feature going because, like, I want to be like, oh, Renee, bells. I need bells. I want bells. Like, I want to do all that. We're getting there. It's the Anthony Gargano Show. Be right back. welcome back, Anthony Gargano Show. And it's time for the Daily Grind. Now, the big brain is going to be joining us. He's traveling this week. I got somebody who is a brilliant betting man, but just a fun guy all the way. You will remember him from all my shows, whether it was WIP or The Fanatic, Violations, Greg, VG.
What's up, dude? I can't believe this is finally happening, man. The studio looks great. Staff is top notch. You're back.
VG.
You and Jamie reunited.
I know. How
Next
about
thing
that?
I know,
The bro.
Howie will be drafting a linebacker in the first round.
If I had my way, Howie, we got to get a linebacker. So, real quick, because you are a season ticket holder.
I am.
You for how many
Since
years?
the building opened.
Yeah.
20 years. 20 years.
It's your anniversary.
It is my anniversary.
Yeah, look at
Thanks,
that.
man.
Happy
Yeah,
anniversary,
You owe me
man.
a beer.
I love it. The lineup is out, so let me give you the lineup. So we got leading off, as you know, Kyle Schwarber. The leadoff thing is...
Dude, I am so sick. If anyone keeps bringing this up, we're 3 years into this at this point. He's the leadoff hitter. I know he's not your ideal hitter.
Right, he's not my leadoff.
Is.
But I stopped. Notice, I didn't bring it up today.
Yeah, I brought it up.
Yeah, I honestly did not bring it up. I'm over it. Whatever, it is what it is. Trey Turner batting second. Bryce, of course, third. JT cleanup. Boom bomb batting fifth. Stott sixth. Nick Castellanos seventh. Marsh 8. And Rojas 9. So there you have it. I love your little note that Marsh is batting .333 against Strider in 15 at bats.
That's a little something to put into the parlay we're going to talk about, maybe.
Yeah, I like that,
boost
man.
a little bit.
I like it. All right, our Daily Grind brought to you by the Bet Parks app. All right, so download the Bet Parks app and have some fun. Baseball season, fighting's upon us. The daily SGP, they have all that sort of thing. The same game parlays and you futures and the whole thing. Don't forget, download the app and make your bets with us. Got to be 21. Go ahead. What do we got?
I'm on a heater, so I'm no big brain Brad, you know. I am Gambling Greg, so if you're feeling adventurous, let's ride. I'm on a heater. I'm 1-0. Took the Orioles with the run line yesterday, so we started off all right.
Oh, nice.
So I think
Bulmer's good.
Yeah. When you look at this team, I think right away you go Trey Turner with a stolen base, right?
Okay, one of your parlay pieces is a Trey Turner stolen base. Okay?
Absolutely. I got a little note.
Andrew likes that.
Yeah,
our producer. Yeah,
we got Zach Wheeler. He's over his lifetime. He's got 173 strikeouts in 27 games against the Braves. Averages out to be 6.4 Ks a game. The over-under's 5.5. So we'll go over Zach Wheeler, 5.5 strikeouts.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. We'll throw the Phillies money line in just because you got to root the Phils in. I like Harper bats .316 against Strider. So let's go Harper with a hit today. That comes in at minus
Bryce with a base hit?
Yeah.
What is it? What's a Bryce base hit worth?
It's minus 167.
All right.
So with this 4-legger, it comes out at 15-1 plus 1,500. If you want to get spicy, you know, you can throw Acuna stolen base in. That brings it up to 50-1 plus 5,000. So I mean, a little 5-legger, you get 50-1. You throw the Acuna stolen base in.
Wow. What if I threw Strider over strikeouts?
We can see what happens.
Because
here, you know?
I mean, if you're
I don't like to root like that though.
No,
you
I know.
I don't want that. I don't even want to root for a stolen base for Acuna.
Yeah, I know. I get. All Phillies SGP. I agree.
I prefer.
I'm just curious because I could see both. Like I like I think like it's 3-2, 3-1 type of game.
Yeah, and the wind's blowing in. Not a lot of home runs, I don't think. And let's face it, the Phillies strike out a lot against Strider. I just don't. Personally, on opening day, I'm not putting that in.
I don't. I don't.
But if you want to make extra money,
I don't blame you. I just again, I could see both pitchers, going at least 6-7 strong.
Yeah,
type of thing.
I believe that.
Phillies have a better bullpen, and when we think about the Braves, one of the big advantages is the Phillies pen.
Phillies pen for sure, but also I was doing a little research this morning. There's a guy, he's a quote MLB insider, Robert Murray.
Okay.
He predicted the Phillies win the division, and he's got the Braves fans in a tizzy. And he says the reason he picks
I like the Phillies.
The reason he picks
the
Phillies is the rotation, starting rotation. He says is much better than the Braves. Braves fans are losing their minds on message boards and Reddits about it. So not just the bullpen.
Well, I think their rotation hinges on what Sale.
Yeah, it's all about Sale's health.
Yeah, is Chris Sale going to be, who is he? Like there were times
he's old,
right?
He's injured,
right?
Right. Let's face it.
Can he sustain? Can he last? Because listen, he had a big uptick last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I agree with you.
Good luck rolling that over into year 2.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what they're smoking down there.
All right, where do we got futures wise?
Futures wise, I'm just keeping it simple, man. Phillies over. I think they're like a 92, 93 win team.
Dude, let me ask you a question.
I don't understand the number in the E. It's 89.5.
I honestly, I think you could actually. You know me. You know me for years.
Too many.
I know. I think they could win 100 games. Like
it's not. That's not crazy.
What's their? Let's think about this.
What they win last year? Bryce misses 2 months. They had the hole. They lost Reese, and they put up what they win last year. I forget. They're over 90 last year, right?
I look at them and I go, "Where's their weakness?" Now, forget injuries because
the glaring weakness is the 9-hole hitter. I mean,
but how many
it's an instant out.
How many teams go 9 deep?
Not many, but when you're talking about the Braves and the Dodgers, they do. And you got a guy who's hitting. We're lucky if he's hitting 200.
Listen, I get it.
Right. With a low on base percentage.
Yeah.
It's not like Schwarber who's got 330 on base percentage. Rojas is on base percentage.
And listen, the beauty of this is we gave the lineup out, but who's not in the lineup?
Like you can't take a break through the first 7. And Marshy, he's coming through. So,
like at some point, this is what if you wanted to do this. You have Marsh in center, and you got Merrifield.
I like that lineup a lot better.
That's your bat. That's your hit. That's your bats lineup.
That is, and I get
because if I give you that lineup, you tell me where you're catching a break.
There's no break, but I get the reasoning because Whit Merrifield did break down last year in the second half, so I guess they want to pace him and keep him healthy and sharp for the postseason.
The last it was weird. He had a great year, and then the last 25 games,
it just really tailed off.
Yeah. But I look at them. If you're going to give me 9-hole bats, he's still he's a plus fielder in center.
Yeah.
Like defensively, they're strong. You got JT.
Yeah. This is such a difference how they used to be in the outfield.
Oh
right?
my God.
Defensively, it's night and day.
I'll look up the middle, right? Like up the middle, you're strong up the middle.
You might have 4 Gold Glovers, actual real candidates for Gold Glove.
I look at
Harper's ridiculous. I think he's ridiculous at first base with the glove. He's a potential Gold Glover, I think, right away.
I'm with you. Stott and Turner.
Yep.
JT, Stott, Turner, and Rojas.
Yeah.
Like we talk about baseball. We talk about being strong defensively up the middle. My God. That's you're just throwing leather.
And with Marsh in left, Rojas can really help out Casty because he's got no range, because Marsh covers a lot of field himself. So defensively, but I'd rather have the whip bat.
But wait, and I feel you on that. But so you got, and by the way, he's a you plug and play guy anywhere you want.
Yep.
When you look at their lineup, we talked about the 9-hole. When you look at their starting rotation, you got other than Walker, right? And like you tell me, guys, that teams go 5 deep, right? And then you look at their bullpen. And it's deep, man. You're just throwing arms at you. That's why I go, I don't understand. 89.5 for a futures line?
High velocity
it's ridiculous.
Arms. High velocity arms.
This is my dream. Listen, that's my dream pen. He used to laugh at me all the time because I love arms. Like, I love arms.
Just, 6'8" guys just throwing heat.
Yeah, just throw heat, gun. Like, it's like
hitting the
quarterbacks.
Backstop. Doesn't matter.
No, I don't care. I don't care why. I just want guys to be petrified going into the batter's box.
Yeah. So, hey, talking bet parks, ACC is underrated. I don't know if they've lost a game this tournament. NC State tonight.
Yeah.
I like them plus the points.
I like NC State too.
Yeah.
How about now I think Houston. What's the line on the Houston game?
See, it's staying still. There's a lot of love for Houston, so I might, as much as it
Why?
pains
You gonna
me.
go Duke?
Me and Baldy, baby. We're going Duke.
Phillips
Duke plus 4. Give it to me. Yeah, man. He's going to be a Sixer next year.
Oh, God. No, Houston wins that. I like Houston.
Yeah, I like Duke. And Purdue looks unstoppable. The inside-out game, their three-point shooting is ridiculous right now. So if you double,
See, I never thought that they had enough besides Edey,
but they do.
They're playing.
They're first or second in the NCAA in three-point percentage.
Yeah.
So it makes it really tough to double him.
The
The late game, I got no call on. I just bet the over on that one.
Who's
To Creighton and
I'm a Creighton man.
Creighton and Tennessee.
Yeah, I like Creighton. That's a great game.
Yeah, that'll be a fun
Because
one.
you know, between Larry Bird Jr. right for Tennessee, Dalton Connect, who's ridiculous, and I like Creighton, man.
I like Creighton. They were in my Final Four, which has been a disaster.
No, everybody's it's a disaster. I don't know. I've been enjoying the tournament, so
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
You know,
Last night's game was unbelievable.
By the way,
Grant
UConn,
Nelson,
nobody's beating them.
Mm-mm-mm.
They're ridiculous. Like you come in, you win a title, you lose guys, and you come back and dominate.
And last night's game, I mean, San Diego State's known for their defense. They blow them out by 30.
It was, oh my God.
Crazy.
I know. I want to see UConn Houston. I think Houston, my man Boo loves you. The Boo man thinks Houston can beat them.
What's he smoking? No way, man. They're just too deep. They do it inside, outside. I don't think so.
I know.
Houston, that one game in the tournament, would they lose by 20?
I was
in their
Iowa
conference
State.
tournament?
Yeah, it was the Iowa State game. But
They
that
looked
game,
great.
that was
They
a
looked great
clunker.
last night, Iowa State.
Well, I mean, listen,
Yeah.
that was another one. You got to score. Like they can't score. And that was an issue.
It's an issue. Yeah. That happens.
Anyway, good stuff on the
Yeah,
tournament,
man.
VG.
Go Phils.
Good to see you. Speaking of Bet Parks, all day at the Parks Racing Sportsbook in South Philadelphia on Packer Avenue, it's a PHLY party, all right? Because we're going to do our baseball extravaganza betting show. Me, the bro, and the bot are going to be there a little bit later on, like 12:30. Then the PHLY Phillies pregame show for the opener. There's a big watch party going on at the Racing Sports with the Parks Racing Sportsbook in South Philly, and then of course the postgame show with the Philly show, Jamie and Renee, and it'll be a lot of fun. So join us down there. It'll be a blast. We'll come back and still want to hear your comments. You can tweet the show. We're going to see some of your YouTube comments, and we'll read. It's opening day in Philadelphia. What do we love about it? What are we thinking, man? What are we thinking? How many wins? Let me hear it. It's the Anthony Gargano Show right here daily, 9 to 11, Monday through Friday on the All PHLY Network. How about it? Opening day in Philadelphia. Holiday today, JP.
Let's go! I'm excited. We're back, ladies
What
and
was your
gentlemen.
first Phillies game?
My first Phillies game. So remember, I'm a first generation American. So growing up, the sport, like your dad taking you out to the ballpark, that wasn't a thing. My taking out the ballpark was going to work with my dad to help him clean up some houses, right? So my first game was 2010. It was the Florida Marlins, not the Miami Marlins. It was the Florida Marlins versus the Phillies. I think we came back and won, but that was a point where we were just rolling over the Marlins. But yeah, every time I'm at the ballpark, unfortunately, this is one of my regrets. I was never able to go to the vet. I was too young for
you
that.
missed the vet. Yeah.
I wish I would have gone to the vet. I went to the Spectrum, but not the vet.
You were at the Spectrum?
I did. Phantoms games were awesome back in
Yeah.
the 2000s.
Yeah. Listen, I love the vet. That was my childhood stadium. So I always have those fond memories of the vet. In fact, my man Victor from Philly Mag just did a great piece on the vet, which I loved. But listen, this play, as much as I could be nostalgic and talk about like the vet and opening days, and my buddy Vinny was at the actual opening of the entire Veteran Stadium.
Wow,
opening day and he was telling me the whole story about going back to it. It was in '73, I think, and I can think back to some openers. This place is a million times better.
Yeah.
It's like not even close. Like, it's funny. I think vet football was great and
it was gritty
because it was ugly and brutal. But it's so much better. Like Lincoln Financial Field, is so much better.
It is.
Right. Cincinnati Park is way better.
I'll
tell you this: the Spectrum is probably better than the Center.
I still remember going up them steps to the Spectrum, though. I love when they used to say the vet was a dump, but it was our dump. And that's how we are. It doesn't matter what it is, it's ours. And we make it ours. And that's what I love about Philadelphia.
Yeah, but our Cincinnati Park is
beautiful.
The best. It's
skyline of the city.
It's I love that place. I do. I love walking around it. I love the vibe. It's got I'm a big believer in vibes.
Oh, same.
Like whether it be people or places.
Exactly.
Like you walk into a place and you go, you know what? I'm not getting something bad happened here. I'm not feeling
like when you walk in Citi Field,
right? Right, exactly. So I walked in that. I walk in that place every time, and I feel great.
Yeah,
I feel great.
It's home.
Yeah.
It's your home.
Yeah, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So we got any chats?
We do, cuz we got some good ones here. We're gonna start off here with Jay Flo. Jay says, cuz I remember down the years talking with you at Nick's Roast Beef, dreaming of this. You Nick's Roast Beef guy.
Oh, I love this.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah. Now, 20th and Jackson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was upset because they closed.
There's a couple of Nick's Roast Beef, and they're all good, but I'm a 20th and Jackson guy.
Mine was on one on Cotman. They just closed down a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. No, 20th and Jackson. That's
the original.
They're not connected.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's our spot.
I'll take a hot roast beef sandwich any day. Dave was just we have Dave P. He just showed some love. He didn't really have a comment. He just wanted to
thanks, brother.
Drop something, so we appreciate that. K Red,
give me yo.
Yeah, yo, Dave, what's going on? K Red says, thanks for talking Flyers, cuz we might be fourth in the 4 for 4, but I love seeing hockey represented on all sports show. Keep it coming.
I know. We listen. It's all things like there's pecking orders and all. None of that matters, right? And by the way, they're fun.
Yeah, Flyers are fun.
They're all. Here's the thing I like most about the Flyers is that I feel like I got them back.
Yes.
And part of it is I love Jonesy, and part of it is I love Danny Briere. I agree, which is the biggest part of where they're headed.
Danny was hanging out with Howie Roseman because he's been moving like Howie lately.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's been pretty good.
Yeah.
We got Rel. He says, "Happy opening day, Uncle Cuz."
Rel, what's up, Rel? What's up, nephew?
He says, "I love you. 100 wins, baby."
Yeah,
he's got 100 wins.
I like it.
And that's all we have here for today. So, guys, obviously, we're gonna keep doing this. So keep dropping the super chats. We'll obviously try to get the phone calls in here as well.
The phone calls are gonna be coming. We're gonna get more ways where you can actually get in on the YouTube chat for us. So listen, we're gonna grow this thing with you guys, and just be here every morning and hang out like we always did. But you know what? It's opening day. I need my Bryce video that my cousin Joey and I are in when he hit the home run, and I need bells, Julia.
Let's go. Opening day. Let's go.
Can you give me the video too? Come on, Jules. So this is Phillies Padres. Now you're going to see me, my cousin, and John Middleton Jr. jump up and down.
What an angle you got.
That's
awesome.
Somebody else took the video. We're hugging. See the three people hugging?
Yeah, I see. Look at you.
That's me, my cousin, and John Middleton Jr., who I love, Johnny. And a friend of mine took the video, saw it, and sent it to me. Like, I saw you guys, like, hugging and freaking out. Like, that was one of the greatest moments ever.
This has to be one of your top 5 favorite Phillies moments.
Yes.
Right here.
In my life.
In your life?
In my life. Not just, the 20 years since Bank Park. In my life.
I love
that moment. I love it.
Awesome.
Anyway, thanks for hanging with us. Have a great day, everybody. Go Phils.
Let's go.
See you on Monday.
We all silly like the mayor.